Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So this week, you have the High Priestess as your key to the week. And this week, when you see the High Priestess show up, this is about something that is hidden, that is going to be revealed, something that is finally going to make sense to you. Sometimes I see this card and I think it's like I see a piece of a puzzle, right? It's like you're looking at a complete puzzle and there's a piece missing, and the High Priestess shows up and she is that missing piece. She's what's going to reveal to you what it is that you need to know, what it is that you need to be aware of, what it might be that you're not seeing at this moment in time, what part of you is hidden, what part of what part of your life has maybe become not even stagnant, but just, what part of you or your life has been veiled or covered in some way, shape or form. Remember, she's hidden things revealed. So this is some sort of self-knowledge, some sort of understanding, some sort of personal wisdom that's going to make sense this week, or some piece of your personal puzzle, your personal life path puzzle is going to become evident to you, right? It's going to be a moment of, aha, I get it, right? But this isn't going to be something external. It's going to be something that bubbles up from within you. The High Priestess is never external. This is one thing that I will probably end up going to town with a few people on at some point, but a lot of people talk about, like, yes, sometimes what we learn comes from the external world, for sure, in that respect. But very often, if we're talking about the High Priestess delivering a message to you, she will bubble up from within you. This is always something that takes place on an internal level. She's never external. This is always about what comes from you and your connection to all that is, and those things, some of the things that she will teach you can only come from within. And this is one of the reasons this card is known as that card that doesn't really have an explanation or can't be pinned down, because while she represents a specific objective truth, she can only be reached by a subjective understanding of that truth. Meaning, how we all get to the truth that she offers will always be very different, because we're all different people. The truth that she represents, or what it is that she separates between this manifest world knowing and the internal knowing, is the truth that she guards is the truth absolute. But the way that we all get to that truth is very, very different, because we are different beings. For your actions and options, you have the Fool card. It is time for you to go in a new direction. Look at this. Out of the supernal triangle, you have the Fool card. All things, new places, new people, new energy. This is about you, actions and options, choosing to go in a different direction based on some intuitive knowing, push, desire, understanding, wisdom, piece of the puzzle. So this week you are not upsetting the balance, you're readdressing the balance within your life, but you're doing it on a very deep level this week. Why do I say the supernal triangle? Well, the Fool card is literally where all things originate from. The High Priestess is all things, or the energy of that pure potential finally being given form. So you've got, the pure potential and the moment where things become, are starting to be shaped, basically. So this is really, really interesting. For your communications and conversations, you have the Four of Wands. This week you are getting some really good news. Again, this could be a piece of the puzzle that just makes sense to you. And this is news, look at that, the Fool card. This is news that will come to you spontaneously, maybe unbidden. Now, on a personal level, this will be some personal big realization that comes from within, that is that piece of the puzzle that just really spurs you into new action or takes you down a new avenue and makes you say, wow, okay, this is where everything was heading, this is how it was all going. Now on another level, on a more external level, or a real life level as some people like to call it, this represents good news that is coming into you. And I say good news because the Four of Wands itself, celebrations, happiness, reasons to celebrate, coupled with the communications and conversations. This is good news, news that reaches your ears, that makes you kind of go, yes, you know what, this is a part of what I need in order to move forward. Now, it's right underneath the High Priestess. She is the universal signifier for all women, and so therefore this may very well be a week where where a woman or a very spiritual person, the Fool card and the High Priestess, I'm literally just like, that's how it's coming to me lately. There's a lot going on, and the way that the tarot is speaking to me, I feel like I'm going in just a new direction with it all, which is, well, not a new, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I digress. This is your reading, but yeah, it's happening like this at the moment, and I'm kind of like in the throes of it all with everybody else. This could very likely come from a very spiritual, a powerfully very spiritual person. It could be that you are interacting with a spiritual person or a guru of some sort, or maybe even for some of you are taking a retreat of sorts. It looks like you're traveling this week, likely to be within your locality, to a spiritual person to help you uncover or get to the bottom of something. For your money and materials, you have the Hanged Man. No big purchases this week. I mean, your ruler is currently retrograde now in the sign of Scorpio. Makes sense. Mercury rules transactions as well, right? So the transitory nature of money, finances, the transactions that go back and forth. The Hanged Man is very often a card that says, put the brakes on, slow down, reassess, reevaluate. When it comes to your money and materials, no new purchases unless you absolutely have to make one, in which case, you know, do what you must, but obviously put whatever protocols you can in place to defend yourself. What I will say to you as well, when it comes to the Hanged Man and your health and vitality, look at this. You're getting good news about your health. And because it is the Hanged Man as well, and I'm a big believer of this. I remember reading a book years ago, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically a book that the idea that it postulated was that every single ailment we have in the physical body has a spiritual source, that you can find whatever it is that troubles you on a physical level, it has either an emotional or a spiritual root. This week I kind of feel like you could be discovering what that is, especially if you are interacting with a specifically spiritual person. When it comes to your home and environment, this could be a week where you are just enjoying the home, right? Where you're taking it a lot easier, where you're taking a moment just to kind of put your feet on the ground and say, whew. All right, I was saying this earlier in one of the other videos, when Mercury goes retrograde, I tend to talk really fast, and I talk fast at the best of times. But I've noticed that when Mercury is retrograde, it's almost like it speeds up even more. So very interesting. And then finally, for your love and relationship, the Two of Wands. This is gorgeous, right? So for those of you that are partnered, married, long-term commitment, finance looks good on a collective level. It looks like you have money left over. It looks like, you know, whatever that might mean to you. But finances look good this week. It's just like I said, no big purchases this week unless it's an absolute must. Do you know what I mean? Like if your washing machine busts, you need a washing machine, right? If your, you know, car busts, you need a car, right? Like it's just kind of like that. If you really need it, then obviously do what needs to be done. But if you're thinking about going out and buying a brand new purchase now, a big purchase at that, no, it's a definite no. But yeah, and then look at this. You've got the Two of Wands underneath the Four of Wands, which suggests that High Priestess, some sort of money that you didn't know you were entitled to, maybe as a couple, could be making its way into you, or maybe one of you is getting a boost to the income this week. For those of you that are single, this Two of Wands with the Hanged Man kind of suggests that if there is a connection that's forging this week, it's likely to be with somebody that is very affluent This could be with somebody that is from a very sort of higher upper echelon, so to speak. But it could also be that there's something about this person that where they want to remain hidden. Now, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily that they already have a partner, but it does feel like something about it is clandestine. I don't know whether this is because the age gap is something that people would kind of, maybe bulk at a little, or there's something about the connection between you that would make people raise an eyebrow. I always say, if you're happy and that person treats you right, fuck what everybody else thinks. But hey ho, that's just me. Anyway, with that said, I will get off my soapbox and try to slow down. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. It looks like a really great week. It really does. I mean, you've got a lot of great energy here. I just feel like even if it happens very subtly, this is a very big week for you guys. I just get this sense that there's going to be some big, profound shift that happens on an internal level that is going to create a lot of external shifts and changes as well. And that's never a bad thing. I mean, maybe that's my Aquarius talking, but, anyway, take care and I'll see you soon.